Hey guys, it's Michaela and you are watching FunsizedStyle. Today's video I wanted to do a bit of a life update. I feel like there's a lot I could update you guys on and it's been a little bit since I've done one of these videos. I just feel like there's a lot to update you on, and what better way than a video, of course, because my main audience is here on YouTube, and so I just wanted to update you guys on some things and my thoughts on things, what I'm up to, kind of what's been going on, what's going to be going on, and let's go ahead and get right into it. As you guys know, I did a video several months ago, 3 months ago now, over 3 months ago now, about my thoughts on COVID-19 as a survivor of the H1N1 swine flu pandemic. I almost did not survive. I was very close to death. So I made a video talking about my thoughts on that and kind of my thoughts as someone who is considered high risk for COVID-19, how I think people should respond. A few of my perspectives have changed, not just because it's getting nice out, not just because it's summer. I don't know if they'd say they've necessarily changed. I think when you're in the middle of a situation, you tend to have thoughts and fear tends to consume you, and then that's what causes you to have these thoughts. There were some things in the last video that I kind of regret saying. Not really regret saying, but I was really scared about COVID. I still am. The thing about H1N1 is we didn't know about it really. I mean, we knew of it, we just didn't understand how bad it was, especially for people like me. The news didn't talk about it like they do now. Celebrities and talk shows don't talk about it like they do now. We were kind of left in the dark about it until, really the details about it until it struck me and nearly took my life. And so what I really appreciate this time around is the ideas out there that it is around. I don't know. There's some things numbers wise that isn't adding up, so just be cautious of data. Don't always believe numbers because you don't know where they came from. Of course know that it's out there, and I regret saying that the media doesn't make a big deal of pandemics. That was one of the things that I said in my last video. I can tell you that the one thing that the media does not make bigger than it seems are health epidemics like H1N1 or the coronavirus, because as I said, there's numbers that are coming out that just don't add up statistically. Of course I know it's out there. I'm not saying it's fake. Like, I know that. My closest people in my life are on the front lines of this. Like, they know it's real. I'm just saying numbers wise, statistics wise, do your research. Just know like where the numbers are coming from and just be wary. I regret saying that the media doesn't make a bigger deal of health epidemics like this one, because they do. Is it real? Absolutely. Do I think that there is fake numbers out there? Yeah, I do. Do I think that it's taking the lives of people? I know it is. My friends are on the front lines and holding the hands of those that are dying and that have died. I felt by saying what I said about that, I really have sat down and researched this epidemic. It is a big deal. The information that they put out about it, though, isn't always factual. That's all I'll say about that. But I am glad that this time around it is being made a big deal. At least the notion is out there that it's out there and that it's real, because people like me were informed 10 years ago about that pandemic, and that's how it struck me. And I'm so glad I'm not in the school system, because I'm certain that's where I caught it. And another thing that I regret saying, I said I probably won't leave my house until there's a vaccine. That's just the reality of it. And I also regret saying that because that's not realistic, and it isn't. Spoiler alert, I've left my house for the first time yesterday in 100 days. In that moment when I made the video, it was all just happening so fast. Like, it was coming out about how bad it was and this and that, and like, it was just like surging. Those were the thoughts that I had in my head about what I was gonna do. But let me tell you, 100 days in your house without leaving and no interaction with other people. Like, yeah, my parents and my twin brother live here, but like, I need to see new people, different people. After 100 days, like, it really puts a toll on your mental health, and I didn't realize that until yesterday. Whether the numbers are correct or not, I don't know, but even if they aren't correct, statistically, the numbers are drastically dropping. So yesterday, I left my house for the first time in 100 days, hence my tan. I went out to lunch with a friend. We picked up Taco Bell and we had a picnic in the park, and it was awesome. Like I said, I got a tan. It's more like a burn, but it's turning into a tan. We hugged and it was awesome. I needed that so badly. And so I did leave my house. I am officially out of quarantine. I am starting to go places again. And like I said, I just regret saying like, oh, I'm not leaving my house till I get a vaccine. And the more I'm learning about this virus, to be honest, I'm not sure if I'm going to be getting the COVID vaccine. There's obviously You make your own medical decisions. Don't make mine just because I say something. You have to make your own medical decisions. But just know that at the time that I made that video, I was like very overwhelmed. And as a survivor of a pandemic, like there's just a lot of, I don't know if it's like PTSD or what, a lot of thoughts that come flooding into your mind. And I remember laying there on life support, not being able to communicate, and it was awful. I didn't know if I was gonna die or not. It was the lowest point in my life. I went out yesterday. We went to the store and we went to get ice cream, and it was awesome. It felt so good to just live. There's a point, at least for me, in a pandemic where you just have to live. Like I said, you make your own decisions for yourself. I'm not waiting till a vaccine is out. I didn't, and I've already been out, and I will continue to go out. But me personally, I can't live that way. I can't wait till there's a vaccine. That's not a realistic way for me to live. There's always gonna be that fear in the back of my mind that I could have to live the nightmare that I lived 10 years ago and the horror that comes with that. But I can't live like that. I can't live in fear. I'm avoiding large crowds. I'm not going to events with large crowds. I am going out and I'm living life. And I think one thing, like I said, that's in my favor is I'm not in school. That plays a huge role because germs like fester in schools. I know you guys are probably shocked. As of yesterday, I am officially out of quarantine. I'm still staying home a lot more than I used to. I'm starting to go out, and just that one day yesterday like refueled me so much, and like I said was like so good for my mental health. Like it just felt so good to just go out and live. Like I said, make your own decisions, but I can't live in fear. It's making a lot of people in fear, and especially people like me, and I get it. I've been there. Like it was so easy for me to go out after I had H1N1 because I was like, I'll never have to face a crazy pandemic again. Like it was so easy for me to go out because I'm like, I built antibodies, I've been through it, I'm done. I faced a pandemic. Like the idea of having to go through something like that again never crossed my mind. The possibility never crossed my mind. But this time, that's why it did take me so long to build up the courage to go out. And I think as much as a good time as I had yesterday, I think there will always be that voice in the back of my head of fear. I can sit here all day and explain to you what I went through H1N1. You'll never understand until you've been there, literally knocking at death's door. Like I thought that was it. I thought that my earthly life was gonna be over. I didn't know for sure, but I was at a very low point in my life. It'd be those thoughts in the back of my mind. This is the world that we live in right now. This is the state of the world. And I'm so glad that things are starting to open back up because I think the lockdown went on a little bit too long. The purpose of the lockdown was to relieve the healthcare system, which has been done now, and it was done about a month and a half ago. And this lockdown has put a toll on so many people beyond health reasons. An argument in the high-risk community, or especially within the white community, is like, well, I guess the economy will be booming without me. You can't expect the whole world to stay quarantined for you. They've done their part for you because the purpose of the lockdown was to reduce the healthcare system, to relieve the healthcare system, because people like me would not be the first to receive medical care had there been a shortage. People like me would not be the first to receive a ventilator if there was a surge of COVID. Our life isn't considered valuable ethics-wise and like medically because they would rather try to save a otherwise healthy person over someone like me. That's just the reality of it, and medical professionals are very open about that. And it's sad and it's awful because my life matters just as much as anyone else's life, and my life is worth, and others like myself are worth saving just as much as an able-bodied, healthy person. And so that part of it is awful. To think that society deems my life less, especially in the midst of a pandemic, just goes to show you how much society doesn't value people with health conditions. That's just the harsh reality of it. Those of you with underlying health conditions or osteoarthritis and infected that are upset about things opening back up, like I said, the world has to live. They've done their part for you because they've relieved the healthcare system, so now they can't use the excuse of we're overcrowded. We can't save you, because they do have the tools, they do have the resources to attempt to save you. And that way they have helped you, they have saved your life in that way. You can't expect the world to revolve around your unique circumstances. That's just not realistic, and it should never be realistic. I appreciate so many people that have truly taken this seriously and continue to take it seriously. I think even after this pandemic is over, if you are sick, stay the heck home. It should have been common knowledge a long time ago. But parents send their kids to school because they have nowhere else for them to go, and then they expose people like me, and then they expose people like the elderly. This should be a lesson for all of us. If you take this pandemic so seriously, you should take any other illness just as seriously and stay the heck home if you can, so that you don't jeopardize the lives of people like myself. And so that was the purpose of the lockdown. The purpose of the lockdown wasn't to cure the virus. The purpose of the lockdown wasn't to just shutter the world until the virus is gone. It's a virus. Even when the vaccine comes, like, it's always going to be there. It will never go away. It's a virus. So those of you that are upset with pre-existing conditions that the economy is going to be booming without you, sorry, but the world has to go on, and we can't expect the world to cater to us in that circumstance, because you have to live. People have to live. We can't expect them to take the measures that we take. And I know it's frustrating. It's nothing against you. They've done their part to save you because they relieved the healthcare system. That was the purpose. The purpose wasn't to stay quarantined for 12 months for people with pre-existing conditions. The purpose was to relieve the healthcare system so that we would have the same opportunity to have resources to be saved should we encounter a life-threatening medical issue of any kind, COVID or otherwise. That was the purpose. So please don't be upset that the world is opening back up. Don't be upset with people that are going out. A thing I see going on Facebook is, don't assume that economy opening up means that it's safe to go out. Assume the same risk. But again, people have made the decision to go out and live. Them going out doesn't affect you anymore because they relieve the healthcare system for you. We can't expect the whole world to cater to that in that respect. And I appreciate people taking these extreme measures, and I wish this would have been done 10 years ago about it, so that way I could have made, my family and I made the choice to stay quarantined back then. So now we know, and so that I'm so glad about. So that's what I wanted to say about people that are upset about people going back out. Life has to go on. So many people don't feel safe going out yet, and I respect that. But just don't be upset with those that are, because you never know how this is affecting, how the lockdown is affecting people in other ways, mentally, financially, emotionally, whatever. That's what I wanted to say about that, and some things that I kind of regretted saying in the other video. I'm still, like I said, being cautious, not going out in large crowds. There will always be that fear in the back of my mind of the lowest point in my life. This was something I never thought I'd have to face again. So it's a constant battle. And as I go out of quarantine and live again, like, I almost feel this guilt. I think they call it like survivor's guilt, because so many people died in the H1N1 pandemic, and I was so close to death as well, but I survived. And here I am again. So many people have lost loved ones and had to say goodbye to them over FaceTime, and I have the blessing of being able to leave my house and live again. And I know that's not the reality for so many people and their families. And so that's something that I battle with this whole time. I don't sit and dwell on it all day, but I do think about it sometimes. Those were some things that I wanted to say about COVID, my thoughts on it now. So I also wanted to talk about surgeries. It's crazy because I knew once I started going out and things started opening back up that everything in my life would start happening at once. So yesterday, I'm filming this on June 18th, so yesterday, June 17th, I received a call, an unexpected call from the hospital, and they said, "Hi, I'm calling to schedule your surgery." And I was like, "Okay, like what surgery?" Because you guys know I have several surgeries coming, or supposed to be in the works. And so my team has decided collectively that it is now safe that I have my revision mastoidectomy surgery to repair the bone that healed incorrectly after the surgery, and also try to restore my hearing. Like a last resort, last option to fix my pain and also try to restore my hearing. My osteogenesis imperfecta makes it so complicated to try to restore hearing because they're going to use artificial hearing bones, but because of the anatomy of my ear, it makes it very complicated. But because of how it healed, like, it's more open, they think they may be able to do it, and so I'll be under anesthesia anyways. It's totally worth trying. So I'm trying not to get my hopes up too much that I could get my hearing restored, because I don't want to wake up disappointed. But I know God is the God of miracles, and that is a possibility. So if you guys could join me in prayer that I can be restored in hearing again, that would be such a blessing. My team is awesome. My orthopedic surgeon will also be there to assist, so she's great. My otolaryngologist requested that, so that's awesome. My team is just great. The COVID unit is closed. That's why too, that they feel that it's safe. I mean, things are just so much better down there. And also, this is an outpatient surgery. Surgery itself isn't very complicated, it's just very intricate. As long as everything goes well, it's scheduled to be outpatient. Last time it was outpatient as well. You do have to utilize a special monitor put on my face, because where they have to cut in the back of my skull right here, involves like facial nerves. So there'll be a team in the OR monitoring this monitor to make sure that my facial nerves are responding well and that I don't incur temporary or permanent facial paralysis. I'm just gonna put it out there, it's a risk. She's never had that happen, but it is a risk. Please pray that that doesn't happen and that all will go well. I had to call my orthopedic surgeon though, because when they called me yesterday, see, the thing is I have to be 3 months post-op of this revision mastectomy before I can go into halo traction, because where they have to cut into my skull is where they have to put one of the screws for the halo. I called my surgeon, because orthopedic surgeon, because I was like, have you kind of decided like when we're gonna go into traction and do fusion? Because if the surgery that I'm having, so I'm having the ear surgery first, is scheduled for July 1st, and so that puts us at 3 months post-op would be end of September, first week of October, and so I just wanted to make sure that like I would be okay till then. She said yes, so she wants me to have this ear surgery first because she's not quite comfortable with me being inpatient long-term for halo and spinal fusion. It'll be a week-long inpatient stay, at least a little less than a week for traction, and then at home in traction as long as everything goes well, and then gosh knows how long I'll be inpatient after fusion, because my body is going to be a mess. Like, it'll be so high risk, like it's not even funny. I'll be in the ICU for like a hot minute. So because of that, she was not quite comfortable with me being inpatient long-term. She's not ready for me to be in traction yet and going into fusions. Because I wouldn't be able to go into traction anyway until October, I might as well have this surgery done, this ear surgery done now, since I can't even go into traction before October anyway, since my team isn't comfortable with it, rather than just like sitting here in pain, and they're comfortable with me having the surgery. Like, I'm gonna do that. I was so surprised at how quick they were able to reschedule me. I think it's because I was one of the first surgeries that got canceled, because on the day that our governor said that elective surgeries had to be canceled, the day that my surgery was supposed to be scheduled originally back in March. I think that's why I got rescheduled so quick, is because I was like the first person that whose surgery got canceled in that department because of COVID stuff. That's happening July 1st. So if you guys keep me in your prayers, I'm going to try and pre-film a bunch of videos beforehand. This recovery usually isn't too bad. Well, I've only had the surgery once, but I've never realized like getting your skull cut open, even just a little bit, like it affects the movement of your entire body. I probably won't be able to film for like a week and a half after, so I'm going to try to film some content to pre-upload. So that is happening July 1st. Like I said, it's so crazy how fast they called and we're like, yep, we're ready to do this. Got your otolaryngologist and your orthopedic surgeon ready, and I was like, whoa, this is happening. I'm really excited to get something checked off my list though. I just feel like there's so much in my life that's pending, but it feels good to be able to get something checked off the list. The thing that's complicated about this, though, not complicated, just really annoying, is I have to get tested for COVID-19 before the surgery. It's mandatory, I guess. I don't agree with that, but I totally get it. I just feel like a test like that should be up to the patient. Like, I totally get it. It's to protect healthcare members. Like, I get that, but I've barely been around anyone. Like, I've been quarantined for 100 days up till yesterday. I promise you I don't have COVID. I'll get it done. It's gonna be awful. Everyone I've heard that's got tested, I don't know anybody personally that's had COVID, by the way, or has had it. I have to get tested, and everyone I've heard that's got tested says it's awful. It feels like they're going up into your brain. It's gonna be way more difficult than the surgery, I can guarantee you. When she told me that on the phone, I just wanted to start crying. It's gonna be awful. Please pray for me. Because that's going to be the worst part of it. Surgery is like a breeze for me, but this COVID stuff, not so much. It's going to be awful. So I have to get tested for COVID next Saturday, because it has to be 96 hours or whatever before surgery, so they have time to like fax it over the results or whatever. So I have to get tested for COVID, and it's just a lot. Thankfully, they are starting to allow visitors though. My parents will be able to go. I don't have to go alone. I can't go alone since I need physical assistance, so that will be good. I'm glad to not be able to be alone. However, I will have to be alone for the COVID test. Even though I don't have COVID, there's no way I would have COVID right now. I have to be alone for COVID because I'm getting tested for it. So I have to go in alone, and usually I'm like so independent when it comes to like medical appointments, like going in alone, but like this is gonna be so awful. Not looking forward to going in there alone, but we'll do it and we'll get it done and it'll be over, but it's gonna be the worst part of this whole thing. So hopefully the surgery goes well and it's successful, because like I said, really like last resort for these things. So hopefully it helps. I'm eager to get ready for traction and spinal fusion. As you guys know, I've been exercising every single day, so I'll have to take like 2 weeks off of exercising for surgery recovery. I'm out of quarantine. I'm feeling really good. I said yesterday was so good for my mental health, and now the surgery stuff, like, it's happened so fast. I'm like, whoa, I did not expect it to happen so fast. But I'm really glad to get something checked off my list. I have a really awesome team. I'll be updating a lot on Instagram, so Instagram is the best way to get more live updates. Surgery day and things like that. By September, October, they'll allow even more visitors, because I want to have like a professional filmed a video of like traction day, since it's literally going to be like life-saving. Let me know if you guys work in healthcare, if you guys think that the visitor restrictions will be lifted by October. But you can check me out on Instagram for more up-to-date, real-time live update. But I think that's everything that I had to update you guys on today. We talked about my thoughts on COVID, new thoughts on COVID, I guess, surgery, and lots been going on lately. It's a little bit overwhelming, but it feels good. But thank you guys for praying. Thank you for being part of this community. I hope you guys are all staying safe and healthy. If you guys are enjoying my videos, I'm trying to upload more, as you can tell. But thank you guys so much for being a part of this community. I feel like there's something major I forgot to talk about, but I guess not. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!